Hi everyone, it's me Darlene. I am here with a new series. It just dawned on me that I could call it the 12 Blocks of Christmas. I think I like that. Let's go with that. I can't say Christmas block of the month because I will be doing 2 per month. This is April 2024, getting close to the end of April. I'm going to make 2 blocks in April. This is the first one, and I will knock out another one before we turn the page to May, and then I will do 2 each month through September. Yes, I had to make sure that was 6 months. That is 2 blocks per month for 6 months. That gives us 12 blocks. Since we'll be done in September, it'll give you time to do whatever you want to do with those 12 blocks. If you want to finish it into a quilt, you can. If you want to just use the blocks for other reasons, you can. And you do not have to use Christmas fabric. I am only because I felt like it and I was able to order a whole bunch of Christmas fabrics. I will be offering Christmas fabrics throughout the year. I don't think I have anything on eBay at the time of this video that's Christmassy because I sell in my private sales first, but there will be some things coming your way. So let's talk about this a little bit. I'm making long rectangular blocks for this quilt. I don't know yet if I will be completing the quilt top or if I might just put the 12 blocks that I make up for auction that way. I'm just not sure yet. I know I will not be completing a quilt with the batting and backing. I'm not into doing that unless it's something small like for a pet bed or something. But I will make the 12 blocks and maybe I'll turn them into a quilt top. I think that might be the smartest thing to do. You're going to notice that I'm not using just Christmas prints. I have some of the Christmas prints that I ordered, but this is not Christmas, this isn't Christmas, this is not, and this is not. But I have this cat print that's got a red background, some little hearts. Looks more like Valentine's Day, right? But I'm going to include it, and I might try to include a piece in every block. I don't know. I have another cat print, but this one is Christmas, at least winter. They're wearing little scarves, so that too, I might try to include that in every block, or maybe at least one of those prints in every block. I like to have something that repeats, but in my blocks, nothing will repeat. I want everything different. I just edited the little bit that I recorded because I like to do that on these crafty type videos. I edit and then I say, okay, I can keep going. And I just want to say that everything I just told you, don't hold me to any of that. I'm making this up as I go. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do things a different way for this. Oh, and by the way, I do have a quilt block of the month going on for the entire year of 2024. And if you are following that, you'll notice that in that one, I have like a specialty block that we make in each block. I'm not doing that for this one because I just want to be able to knock these out. All the blocks will be scrappy like this. It's my favorite way to put pieces together. And the other difference is that they are going to be long. I think they're supposed to end up being like 12 by 20. And that's after they're joined together. So probably like 12 and a half by 20 and a half. This looks like really way too long for 20, but we will lose some of that in the seam allowances. I'm going to do something different this time in the way that we put this together. I'm going to tell you the sizes of all these pieces, and I do want to remind you that you can add specialty things, like you could cut something to size from a panel, or this is like, I think this one is a 5 by 5, I will tell you in a minute, if you had a half square triangle or something else. So you certainly can use things. I almost wanted to include like a crumb block here and there, but again, time consuming, so I didn't want to get myself too caught up into having to do anything special. But you can certainly do some specialty things if you want. But what we're going to do is we are going to end up making this into 3 sections. And I'm going to explain to you how you can switch it up. because sometimes you might have a color or two that you want to use, but maybe you don't want it close together, and I'm going to be able to show you, like, for instance, this could be here. Or if you don't want to have to make those decisions, you can do exactly what I do. This right now is my current setup. Although I thought that maybe I would like this one here. I don't know. I'm going to stick with what I've already planned, just so I don't get confused. And if you do make a mistake, as long as it fits when you come to put it all together, you're good. You're good to go. So I will be explaining that as we go. Now, obviously, if you are dealing with directional prints, like I have 2 directional prints here, you know, I can't turn this one sideways or upside down. So pay attention to that. And let's just get started, okay? So I'm going to just push these 2 down for now. We're going to work on this right here. Let's call this whole thing block A. I have this big piece. This is 7.5 wide by 9.5 tall. And then this piece up here. Wait a minute. I did have it this way on my original. Okay, maybe that's why I liked it better that way. So I'm going with it this way. So the piece up here, the smaller piece on the top, is 5 wide by 3.5 tall. And then this one is 5 wide by 6.5 tall. And we're going to start by sewing these 2 together. Now, if they're not directional, you can sew them together and then you could change your mind and do it this way. But since mine are directional, the trucks up here, I have to decide before I sew. And I'm going to do it this way. So I'm going to sew these 2 together, and then I'm going to sew it to this guy. Let me sew these together first. At this point, I can leave it this way, or I can do this. So you have that choice to make. I'm going like this, sewing it right there. And this measures 12 inches. We will check and see if it's going to be 20 in that direction when I'm done. Now we're going to move this section out of the way. And let's bring this guy. We've got lots of choices with this one. Let me give you the sizes of these guys. This one, 5 inches square, so 5 by 5. This one is 3 inches wide by 5 inches tall. This little piggy is one of my adorable 2-inch squares. I will try to put 2-inch squares in every block that we make. So 2 inches square. This top piece is 3.5 wide by 2 inches tall. And this piece is 5 inches wide by 3.5 inches tall. Let's start with these 2. You can do it this way, or you can do it this way. You get to decide. I'm doing it this way. I have this done. I have lots of options with these 3 pieces. It could be swapped like this. It could also be swapped like this. Like this. It's all up to you. I'm sticking with this. And I'm going to sew these 2 together. And then I will sew it to this piece. And one last decision. It can be this way. Or it can be that way. Gee, I kind of like that. And then of course you can pull your other piece, but don't get too hung up on this because these sections can also be swapped. I'm going with this, sewing right there. And now this section is done. Moving that aside. Here we go. We have choices with this one also. Again, this could be swapped. This could be swapped. And then when it's all said and done, this could be swapped. I'm sticking to this plan. Here's the sizes. This top piece, 4 inches wide by 2 inches tall. This one is another 2-inch square, so 2 by 2. This one is 5.5 inches wide by 5 inches tall. And this one is 7 inches wide by 6.5 inches tall. I will sew these two together and attach it to this, and then I will sew this. But again, remember, you can swap these things. And this is what I have. Now we have 3 sections that will all fit together at about 12 inches. These guys are a little bit shorter, just a little bit, and that's because I had more seams. I kind of don't have perfect 1/4 inch seams, so it shrunk it a little bit more. I'm going to go with this because this is what I initially planned. I'm looking at my designs here to make sure that I got them all the way I wanted, and I think I did. But again, you could swap them any way you want. The big guy could be in the middle. And if you have all non-directional prints, you could, at this point, turn things around. So you just do whatever you want. But I'm going to stick with what I started with. And I believe that's it. So let me sew these 3 pieces together. And here we have it. And it measures 20 inches. When you are done making these 12 blocks of Christmas, you can decide if you want to sash them or not. But these are going to go 4 across by 3 down. So it'd be about 60 inches long, although we would lose an inch in the seam allowances, so 59 inches long. 48 across, we'll lose an inch and a half, so like 46.5 wide. That would be the finished quilt top, but if you want to add sashing around the blocks, you can, and of course a border and all that. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I will be knocking another one out this month, April. Before the 30th of April, I will have another block done. The quilt block of the month comes out on the 1st of the month, and my crochet block of the month comes out on the 15th of the month. And each one of these series has a playlist. I will start a playlist for this one. And again, this is block number 1. So I'm going to take some pictures. I haven't trimmed this yet. I'm going to wait to see, because if there's a mistake or something on one of the blocks and it's only like 19 or 19.5 or whatever, I would just trim them all to the smallest block. But I wouldn't have a mistake that big, I don't think. So, but I'm going to still just wait. So I will take pictures like this and I'll trim after the fact. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. And do look for Christmas fabric from me throughout the year, 2024. That's where we are right now. I'll be doing Christmas projects too, like Christmas stockings, fabric ornaments, all kinds of different things for Christmas throughout the year. So subscribe. I'll be back with more soon. Bye.